You know, it's funny how we've all grown up with this idea baked into us that helping people is just always the noble thing. Like, from the time we're kids, we're hit with these messages. Be the good guy, the spiritual one, the loving soul, say yes to everything, give till it hurts, and keep your calendar wide open for whoever needs you. And heaven forbid you hit pause, set a boundary, or even whisper no once in a while. Suddenly, you're the villain, selfish, cold, maybe even a little heartless. But here's the twist I want to throw at you today. What if that whole script we've been handed is totally flipped? What if this non-stop urge to swoop in, fix every problem, and rescue every soul isn't love at all? What if it's actually getting in the way, messing with the exact growth those people need from life's tough lessons? Think about it for a second. When you keep bailing someone out from the fallout of their own choices, are you really lifting them up? Nah, you're kinda locking them in place. You're blocking that hard-earned wisdom that only hits home through real, gritty experience. I'm not saying we should all turn into ice statues or stop caring that just swing us to the other extreme, right? The real game changer isn't about ditching compassion. It's about how we show it. And even bigger, it's about picking who gets that energy from you. Because, let's be real, there are folks out there who'll suck you dry like a sponge in the desert. They'll grab, grab, grab. And no matter how much you pour in, it's like a black hole gone forever. The real gut punch? It's not just that they're taking, it's that by jumping in every time, you're stalling their shot at real change. That's why today, I want to walk you through 7 types of people you gotta learn to spot. Not to play judge or throw shade, far from it. This is about guarding your own vibe, your own spark, so you can let them wrestle with the stuff they need to face to level up. It's tough love, but the kind that frees everybody up. Let's dive in. Number 1, the chronically lazy. Okay, hear me out. There's a massive gap between someone who's in the trenches, grinding through a rough patch, and someone who's straight up checked out. The fighter in the trenches? They'll grab your hand up like a lifeline and use it to climb higher. But the chronically lazy type? Your help turns into their cozy safety net. They've quietly decided, maybe without even saying it out loud, that the world's too much hassle, so why not let someone else haul the load? And boom, you step up, and suddenly you're that someone. Not because they can't hack it solo, but because they've figured out the hack. Play the right cards, and help just appears. Look around at nature for a sec. It's brutal but brilliant in its clarity. A mama bird doesn't keep shoving worms into a chick that's got its beak clamped shut. A tree doesn't waste sap on a dead branch that's not pulling its weight. If it's not giving back, not contributing, nature prunes it not to be mean, but to thrive overall. Same vibe here. The chronically lazy will hit you with story after story, rough upbringing, string of bad breaks, the deck stacked against them. And, yeah, some of that's legit, but flip the script, ask what they're doing right now to flip their own page. Tiny steps? Job hunts? Skill ups? Or are they just chilling, betting on the next knight in shining armor to ride in? When you prop up someone who's not even trying to stand, you're straight up stealing from them. You're swiping that rush of nailing it on their own, that muscle memory of pushing through the suck, that holy crap, I did that glow. Some of y'all have been Atlas with this, shouldering bills, untangling messes, wiping slates clean for years. You pat yourself on the back for the kindness, but what if that's the chain keeping them small? What if your rescue op is the exact roadblock to them finding their feet? Truth is, they need that itch, that empty fridge vibe, that squirm of real discomfort to light a fire. It's only when sticking put hurts worse than shaking things up that the magic happens. They move. They grow. But you gotta let the space for that ache exist. Alright, shifting gears to number 2, the perpetually ungrateful. Man, have you ever poured your soul into something for someone, time, carved out of thin air, cash from a tight budget, heart laid bare, and they just pocket it like loose change? No thanks, no nod of real appreciation, nada. It's like you handed them a winning lottery ticket, and they shrug. This isn't some fluke. It's wired in. Gratitude isn't just polite chit-chat, it's the marker of someone who gets their plugged into something bigger than their solo show. They know gifts aren't dues owed. Their grace dropped in their lap. That shifts how they hold it with care, like it's sacred. But the ungrateful? They roll up convinced the universe owes them the deluxe package. Your support? Not a bonus, it's baseline. And the kicker? The more you feed that loop, the bolder they get. It's this wild feedback thing. You give more, they value it less. I remember this one dude I knew. He covered his buddy's rent for half a year straight, skipped his own upgrades, ate ramen some nights, all to keep a roof solid over the guy's head. Response? Gripes. The place was cramped, the block sketchy. Why him scraping by when others ball out? Zero appreciate you, man. Not a whisper about the grind it took. Then the tap runs dry after 6 months, dude's pissed. Feels stabbed in the back, like the favor was a loan, with interest he never signed for. That's the ungrateful in action. They don't clock kindness, they sniff opportunity. Generosity? Just a slot machine to pull. They'll drain till you're hollow, then ghost or flip the script on you. Helping them isn't planting oaks. It's dumping water in a sinkhole. It'll swallow every drop and yawn for more. Spot this early, pull back, and redirect that gold to soil that actually blooms. Number 3, the arrogant and self-righteous. These folks, they don't crave your input. They're fishing for echoes of their own echo chamber. Throw 'em wisdom that pokes their bubble, instant shutdown. You're out. It's not that they're clueless. It's that ego's got him in a chokehold. They know it all. Their playbook's flawless. And any side-eye means you're the glitch. Pride's sneaky like that, dresses up as swagger. But underneath, raw fear of the fumble. Admit a gap? The whole house of cards wobbles. So they armor up, argue harder, deflect sharper, reject outright. You can't crack that shell for them. Not 'cause they're hopeless, but 'cause they swear they're whole. That light bulb's got a flicker on solo. Jesus didn't tail the know-it-alls. Pleading for a hearing, he dropped truth bombs and dipped, 'cause forcing feed on folly's a fool's errand. They got a trip, taste the gravel, stare up from the dirt and go, wait, I don't have the full map. Humility's the key they forge in the fire of flop. Till then, your words bounce off like rain on tin. Number 4, the habitually wicked. Okay, easing into this one gently. Our world's allergic to straight talk on wicked these days. We soften it. Troubled soul. Misunderstood vibe. But let's call it some folks aren't lost. They're locked in. They clock the damage, clock the wrong, and crank it up anyway. Not slip-ups, we all stumble. This is pattern, lifestyle. Twists of truth, swipes at trust, jabs that sting deep, zero sorry in sight. Call him out, they spin it, oh none of it. Lending a hand here, you're not a lie, you're enabler. Handing ammo for the next round of wreck, they'll flip your good into fuel for their grind deeper cuts, slicker schemes. Ancient smarts across the board nail this. Steer clear of backing the bad. Not cause compassion's AWOL, but cause some paths curve to crash, and tugging em off just yanks you in. They don't seek salvage. They seek sponsorship for the hustle, the cover, the cleanup crew. Step up. You're not light bringer. You're shadow dancer. Number 5, the incurably foolish. Look, being a fool isn't about your IQ score or how many books you've cracked open. It's about that stubborn loop of ignoring the signs. They barrel into the same war, crash, dust off, and do it again. Advice? They nod politely, then yeet it out the window. Wisdom from the wise? Sounds like white noise. It's like watching someone test the hot stove rule every single day and still act shocked when dinner's served with singed fingers. What sets the wise apart from the fool? Simple. The wise one logs the lesson and levels up. The fool? Blank slate, rinse, repeat. And here's the heartbreaker. This type often rolls up to you mid-meltdown. Crisis mode engaged, eyes wide with that save me plea, and boom. Your empathy kicks in hard. You want to dive in, yank him from the quicksand, but hit pause and scan the rear view. This ain't crisis numero uno. It's the sequel, the trilogy, the franchise. Same script, different set. Folks have thrown ropes before, hauled them to shore, and what happens? They paddle right back to the deep end, chasing the same riptide. Picture it. Fools flailing in the waves, you lob the floaty, they swat it away, keep dog paddling into doom. You cannonball in for the hero grab, Congrats, you're gurgling too. Can't CPR sense into someone wedded to nonsense. Life's the only tutor tough enough, the raw sting of oh snap, that hurt for a reason. Keep meddling, and you're muting the alarm they need to hear. Let the waves do their thing. Sometimes the best rescue is ringside, not in the ring. Number 6, the master manipulator. Oh boy, this one's the stealth bomber of the bunch, slips under the radar cause they don't bulldoze in with a shopping list. Nah, they weave a tale, tug at heartstrings, make you beg to play hero. Manipulators? They're psych pros, clocking how empaths like us melt at a sob story, how no tastes like guilt on the tongue. They weaponize that. Scripted lines that hit your soft spots, make you feel like the chosen one, the fixer they can't live without. Next thing, you're bending over backwards, spilling secrets or cash you'd hoard from your own crew. They're chameleons, straight out of a spy flick, victim to your face, saint to the next mark. Cross-check with mutuals who've danced this tango. Narratives clash like bad fanfic. Helping them isn't charity, it's bankrolling the circus. You're the unwitting sponsor for their next con, their emotional Ponzi scheme. Pull the plug. Lights out on the act, they recast you as the big bad, smear campaign launch, and poof, fresh audience awaits. Spot the smoke and mirrors early. Inconsistent tales, that too perfect, pull on your pity. Step aside, let their house of cards teeter solo. Your sanity's not script fodder. Number 7, the unrepentant rebel. Wrapping this lineup with the gut-wrencher, the one who gets it but ghosts the growth. They've sat through the TED Talk of life. Lessons dropped, red flags waved, mirrors held up. Check. But do they pivot? Nah. They double down on the detour, eyes wide open to the cliff. Not clueless, just committed to the chaos. You toss 'em a lifeline? They flash that grin, echo your every word like a pro, make you think the penny dropped. Turn around, back to base jump without a shoot. This hits different cause, you see, the spark, the what-if glow of who they could be if the switch flipped. So you cling, cross fingers for this round's the charm, pour more pleas into the void. Spoiler, it's a rerun. The rebels got a hunger for the haul-up. You can't crave their comeback harder than they do. It's exhausting, this proxy battle your tank empties while they idle in neutral. Love 'em from afar. Cheer the potential without chaining your worth to their U-turn. Sometimes release is the real rally cry. Whoo, that's the 7, your radar for the energy vampires, the growth blockers. But hold up, does this mean we board up the heart, ghost every ask, turn into lone wolves, hard pass? That's not the play. We're talking upgrades. Discernment dialed in, eyes sharp for the grinders versus the grifters, the hand-up seekers from the handout hustlers. See folks as they are, no shade, no rose-tint goggles. Real compassion, it's got teeth. Sometimes it's that gentle shove backward, clearing the runway for consequences to land the plane. Cause here's the raw truth. Folks don't bloom in bubble wrap. The wake-up call? It rings loudest in the quiet after the fall, the scrape of rock bottom etching change or choke into the soul. Pour into the ready ones, the soil that's soft and starving for seed, and watch the harvest roll in, growth that sticks, ripples that reach. But chase the concrete hearts, the takers who twist your good into their getaway. That's fertilizer down the drain, your glow dimmed for nothing, your bandwidth, sacred ground. Hours tick, resources thin, invest like a boss, not a bailout fund. Not everyone's primed for your pour, and owning that, not harsh, it's high IQ heart. So, pause today. Who's hogging your help when they should be hugging their own hustle? Whose rescue I keep running that needs to run its course? Whose enable him easing that craves the crash to course correct? Name 'em, then summon the spine to bow out. Not bitter, not burned, just clear-eyed, knowing the deepest love might be the space to stumble, stand, and soar. In the finale, remember, you're no savior with a cape. You're the signpost, the spark pointing paths with quiet fire. They trek or they don't. Their call, every step. Freeing that up? That's where your real power lives, not in the pull, but in the permission to let life lead. So, now that we've unpacked these 7 types, not to build walls, but to build better boundaries, let's get real about what comes next. How do you flip the switch from autopilot helper to wise steward of your own light? Cause knowledge without action is just a TED talk in your head, right? This stuff isn't meant to sit pretty on a shelf. It's your toolkit for reclaiming that energy you've been leaking like a sieve. And trust me, once you start wielding it, you'll feel the shift like upgrading from economy to first class in your own life. First off, discernment isn't some woo-woo buzzword. It's your daily practice, your morning coffee ritual for the soul. Start small. Next time that text pings with "Hey, can you?" Pause. Not for drama, but for download. Ask, is this a hand up or a handout? Does this person show sparks of their own fire, small wins, gratitude glimmers, steps forward, or are they looping in the same ditch? Remember, helping the hungry heart, the one grinding through the mud toward light, that's where magic brews. You become the wind in their sails, not the whole damn boat. But spotting the stuck ones, that's your cue to love from the sidelines, prayers, good vibes, maybe a book rec, but no more heavy lifting. It's counterintuitive at first, feels like you're slacking on the good person scorecard. But flip it. Every no to the wrong paw is a louder yes to your mission, your fam, your dreams. Let me paint a picture from my own mess-ups, 'cause I'm no saint up here preaching. I've been the doormat deluxe. Few years back, I had this friend, air quotes, heavy, who was type 2 meets 6. Ungrateful manipulator wrapped in a charm offensive. Every crisis, it'd drop everything. Late night strategy sessions, Venmo lifelines, even co-signing her latest big idea that was basically a fancy word for scam. Shed gush at first, "You're my rock," then ghost till the next plot twist. I told myself it was loyalty, big heart energy. But deep down, it was my fear of being that guy who bails. One day, mid-rant about her landlord again, I clocked it. This wasn't building her up. It was building my resentment tower. So I set the boundary soft but steel. I'm rooting for you, but I can't jump in this time. You've got this toolkit we talked about, use it. Crickets at first, then the flip. Blame game texts, mutuals getting the sob story remix. Hurt? Like hell. But 6 months later? Space. My calendar breathed, my wallet thanked me, and guess what she leveled? Found a side gig, therapy click, started owning her wins. Not 'cause I ghosted, but 'cause I stopped ghostwriting her life. Lesson locked. Boundaries aren't bars. They're bridges to mutual respect. And, speaking of respect, yours first. That's the anchor. In this give culture, we've forgotten the basics. You can't pour from empty. So audit your circle like it's tax season. Who lights you up? Who challenges you to grow, not just tolerate? Nurture those roots deep, the collaborators, the cheer squad, the mirrors who call your bluff kindly. Pour there and watch compound interest. Energy multiplies, ideas spark, joy echoes. For the rest, graceful distance. Not cold turkey lives, not that binary. A thinking of you note, a shared meme, but no more soul suck sessions. It's like pruning a garden. Hurts to clip the wilted, but damn if the blooms don't explode after. Now, let's talk fallout. Cause change stirs the pot. When you pull back, expect the echo. Guilt trips, FOMO flares, that inner voice whispering selfish much. Lean in, it's normal. Journal it out. What am I afraid of losing here? Approval? The hero badge? Then counter with truth. What's the cost of staying stuck? My peace, my potential, and community. Grab it. Share this with your ride or dies. Turn it into dinner table deep dives. Hey, ever rescued someone who kept jumping off the cliff? Laughter heals, perspectives sharpen. Books too dive into Boundaries by Cloud and Townsend, or The Gifts of Imperfection by Brené Brown. They're like cheat codes for this work, reminding you vulnerabilities, strength, not weakness. One more layer. The spiritual side, cause this ain't just psych 101, it's soul surgery. If you're wired for faith like I am, lean on that. Scriptures nail it. Proverbs on wisdom's discernment, Jesus flipping tables on enablers in the temple, Paul's bear one another's burdens but examine yourselves. It's balance. Carry what's yours to carry, release the rest to the big guy. Prayer becomes your filter. Show me where to sow, where to step back. And miracles? They unfold in the space you create, not when you're crammed in every corner, but when you trust the process. I've seen it. That lazy cousin finally hustles after the safety net snaps. The foolish co-worker owns the lesson post-layoff. Not your doing their dawn, your freedom. Who? That's the how-to unpacked. But here's the fire. This isn't a one-and-done audit. It's muscle. Flex it daily, and you'll spot patterns like a hawk, your own included. Maybe you're the rescuer cause it dodges your shadows. Fear of alone time, worth tied to useful. Own that, heal that, and suddenly helping feels like flow, not force. Your life's too epic for energy heists. Guard it fierce. Give it fierce, watch the ripple. All right, let's circle back and make this land personal cause theories cool. But it's the you stories that stick. The ones that mirror your own late-night scroll through regrets or that quiet aha over coffee. I've got a couple more tales from the trenches. Not to one-up, but to light the path. Show you it's doable, messy, but worth every awkward convo. And then, well wrapped with some fire starters, questions to chew on. Challenges to chase so you don't just watch this, you walk it. Take my auntie, rest her soul, she was queen of the enablers, type 1 and 7 combo platter. Grew up watching her bankroll my cousin's dreams. Art school loans she never repaid. Start-up investments that were basically smoke and mirrors. Endless just this once, bailouts for bad decisions. Auntie'd say, family's family, with that fierce love in her eyes, but underneath? Exhaustion, the kind that etches lines deeper than time. Cousin hit 30, still couch surfing. Excuses stacked like Jenga, economy sucks. Not my fault, you name it. Auntie enabled cause it felt like legacy, like her love was measured in dollars and do-overs. But one brutal holiday bill's piling, her health dipping, she laid it bare. Kiddo, I love you wild, but this train's derailed. Time to grab the wheel. Boom. No more checks, just check-ins. What'd you learn today? Cousin raged, ghosted, then cracked. Landed a graphic gig, paid back a chunk, started therapy. Last I heard, he's mentoring newbies full circle. Auntie's move? Not abandonment. It was the gift of gravity. She passed, knowing she freed him to fly, not flop. Or flip to the flip side, my own rebel phase, early 20 seconds, type 5 fool on steroids. Chased toxic gigs, toxic peeps, burning bridges like it was cardio. Best friend tried, tough talks, shared articles, even staged an intervention coffee. It'd nod. Yeah, totally get it. Then ghost back to the grind. She didn't chase. After a few loops, she stepped back, still there for birthdays, still hyping wins, but no more midnight rescues. Hurt my pride, but planted a seed. Hit a wall, lost job, lost love, staring at empty walls in that space. It echoed her words. No net to catch me meant I had to weave one. Therapy, side hustle, slow rebuild. Now, we're thicker than thieves, swapping stories over wine. Thanks for not letting me off the hook. Moral? Sometimes the love that lingers, not the love that lunges, is the lifeline. These aren't hallmark endings. Life's got plot twists, gray zones. What if it's family? What if it's but they could change? Lean into grace boundaries with heart, not hammers. Script a convo. I see your heart, your hurt. I'm here cheering your steps forward, but I can't carry the load anymore. Let's team on the wins. If they lean in, gold. If not, grieve it, gentle therapies, your co-pilot here. Unpacking the why me loops. And forgive yourself too. We've all been the overgiver, the blind spot boss. That's human. The win? Spotting it sooner each round. Now, let's amp this to action, cause YouTube's not a nap pod, it's your launch pad. Challenge 1, energy audit. Grab a notebook or notes app, no shade. List your top 5 helps from the last month, who, what, feels after. Green light the growers, yellow the maybes, red the drains. For reds, craft your step-back script short, kind, firm. Practice in the mirror, awkward's the entry fee to awesome. Hit play on that boundary this week. Report back in comments what shifted. Who's your first release? Challenge 2, gratitude gridlock buster. For every no you drop, flip a yes to you hour for that book. Walk in the woods, call a hype squad. Track it, 7 days, 1 self-pour per no. Watch the tank refill. It's science. Baby oxytocin on tap. And share. What's one self-care win you're claiming? Drop it below. Let's cheer each other sloppy. Deeper dive, community carve-out. Who's your discernment dream team? That friend who clocks the BS. The mentor who's walked the wire. Text him today. Brainstorm sesh. Got this helping dilemma. 2 heads? Unbeatable. Or join the convo here. Tag a vidbud. Start a thread. Type 3 in my life. Arg advice. We're in this tribe. Isolation's the real thief. One last spark. The long game lens. Picture 5 years out. What's your legacy? The rescuer who ran ragged, or the sage who sparked chains of change. Poor wise, and it's the latter ripples you never track but trust they're there. That cousin mentoring, that's your echo. The friend who rebuilt, your quiet quake. You're not just guarding energy, you're gifting generations the grit to grip their own glow. If this hit home, smash like, sub for more soul stir. Next up, boundaries without the burnout. Bell on for drops. Questions, flood comments. How do I spot manipulators in real life? What if it's my boss? Illstitch replies. Maybe spin a follow-up. You're not solo, you're sovereign. Step back, step up, life's lessons await. Who's ready to rewrite their give list? You got this. Peace.